Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Well, we had a treat this weekend. We've had some really good fights. I hope everybody enjoyed them, and if you were pay-per-viewing, that you felt like you got your money's worth. So, I certainly did. The three fights that I can speak about, one of which I won some money on, two of which I lost money on, but I felt like I got value for money. Let me see. The first one, Adam Azim, who is now the IBO super lightweight champion. He stopped Sergey Lipinets in the 9th round of their scheduled 12-round fight. Now, Lipinets, he came to fight, and if you look at his face afterwards, you can see that, yeah, you don't play at boxing, obviously. Adam Azim impressed me. You know, he's 22 years old. His record is now 13-0. If there were doubts about his ability to be a world-class fighter, I think he's put those doubts to bed. He showed a lot of maturity in the ring, though I'm going to say one thing, and I'm reiterating probably what everybody else is saying, certainly what Shane McGuigan, his coach, is saying, is you got to watch those low blows. He lost 2 points because of low blows, which, had he not been able to pull off a stoppage, you know, like what a way to lose a fight, right? Like, stupid. So in-ring discipline, something that he can work on in camps, I'm not sure. But anyhow, once McGuigan given him a really serious talking to, he adjusted, and his uppercuts were something to be seen. Like, I mean, he really knows how to throw a punch. Lipinets, who, I mean, he was 13 years older than Adam Azim, so he's 35 years old, which for a heavyweight isn't a big deal. In the lighter weights, I really think that there's a drop off, and I'm not sure what Lipinets is going to do. Like I say, he came to fight, and he gave Adam Azim the test that Azim was looking for, and it was obvious. I think the ref called it right. I mean, to me, Lipinets was not going to be doing anything, and allowing it to go on would have just caused more damage. And, like I say, 35-year-old man in and against a 22-year-old who's clearly now got the best of him. It was the right call. What else did I... Yeah, I made a note here that Adam Azim shows, like, maturity now. So yeah, well done indeed. And I won money on him. He was the favorite going in, so it's not like I was a brilliant picker of a winner there. It was kind of expected to win, but yeah, I think Adam Azim has ticked off the boxes and probably put to rest people's concerns. I read somewhere that people were still questioning his chin. I'm not sure. But anyways, I thought he did really good. Good. The next fight was Figueroa and Fulton. Now, Figueroa moves to 25-2-1, and Fulton's 23-1. Another good fight. I had expected, and I think I made a video about it, Figueroa to carry the weight better, to be better at this weight. I kind of don't want to take anything away from him, but I thought he was going to win. It seemed like he didn't really start fighting until about halfway through the fight. What do you think? It seemed... Yeah, I mean, there's slow starting, and there's like really slow starting. I mean, he sort of gave away 4 rounds, and you can't afford to do that, right? Let me see my notes. Yeah, he seemed to get off to a very slow start. That was my really thing. Fulton did everything right, and then by the time Figueroa got started, it was too much for him to catch up, really, I thought. And you have to think that he's going to be a little bit pissed off today You know, like I think if he'd started off the first round like he performed from 5 onwards, it might have been a different story. But hey, them's the breaks, right? And full credit to Fulton. Full credit indeed. Like I say, I lost money on that. I actually had a hedge bet, so I sort of ameliorated my losses a little bit. But still, I was surprised. But hey, there we go. Full, no controversies. In this fight, obviously no controversy in the Adam Azim fight, except the low blow issue, which we've talked about. And then the cracker of the fight, in my view, Benavidez and Morrell. Now, what a damn good fight this was. This is one that you want to watch again, kind of thing. Benavidez now moves to 30-0, and Morrell 11-1. I had said in a prediction video that I thought if Morrell moved and worked on angles, that Morrell might have been able to get the better of Benavidez. Now, I was wrong, but I still think that if Morrell had been a bit craftier, it might have been different. But I mean, it was a spectacular fight. My notes say, let me see, I wrote a real cracker of a fight. That was my very first thing I wrote down. Both guys went at it, but it wasn't just a brawl. There was a lot of skill on display here. Some great work from Benavidez to Morrell's body. Now, but that guy has got to have ribs made of steel, because just when you're thinking that Morrell is being overwhelmed, Morrell comes back, and absolutely nothing was left on the table here. I said, when I thought that that Benavidez had the best of Morrell would come back. There's no doubt both fighters dished it out. Both fighters took it. And if you want to sort of pick the round of the fight, go and have a look at round 4 again. Just the kind of fights that as fans we're like, oh yeah, this is go on, come on. I found myself sort of yelling at the TV kind of thing, which is I mean that's why we watch the sport, right? Now there was one knockdown in the fight. So I didn't think that it was a knockdown until my brain was like a second behind, because the way that Benavidez went down, it was almost like almost like a trip, but it was down. It was a knockdown, and that should have been a 10-8 round, of course. But then there's this flurry at the end. And of course, Morrell is the last person to throw a punch after the bell, even though Benavidez had thrown a combo that was sort of, also in my view, questionable. But it was Morrell threw the punch that was, the one that he got penalized for. So he lost a point, so it turned into a 9-8 round. I think Morrell was, I won't say it was unfair. It was a bit unlucky to lose a point there. I don't think it wouldn't have made a difference to the fight. I'm not suggesting that this is, oh my God, no, it wouldn't have made a difference. The right man won the fight. I think Morrell showed a little lack of experience. I mean, I know he's got a lot more amateur fights, but he was going into this fight with a far fewer professional fights. And I believe in my video predicting this, I said, the trap that Morrell might fall into is sort of, fighting rather than moving. And I think he might have fallen into that trap. He's a little bit inexperienced, maybe. Morrell is definitely. I don't even think of this as, he's going to be needed to rebuild, or this is the kind of loss that I think Morrell will benefit from. It might sound silly, especially to modern day fans who put such a big premium on preserving that 0. But for me, I would say that this is the best education that Morrell could have gotten. Nothing to be taken away from David Benavidez. Excellent win. The question now is, who does he fight next? Does he fight the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol? If he does, I'm not quite sure. Like Beterbiev and Bivol are there, 1 and 2. I think there's a bit of a drop off to number 3, who is now who we would say would be Benavidez. It'd be interesting. I did see something this morning where Benavidez said that if he can't get that fight, he's looking to move up to cruiserweight. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. I would like to see him fight the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol. And it'd be interesting also to see maybe Morrell having a go against the loser of that fight. But, I mean, we're sort of getting ahead of ourselves here. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, my last bit of notes was I think Morrell will get the better from this. What I meant is that the learning experience will be good for him. Now, if you've gotten this far, I want to make a shout out to a guy who is light years better at reporting on fights than anybody else out there, and that's Joe Stanner Boxing. When I listen to Joe, if I haven't seen a fight, and some of the fights I didn't see, not these fights, but he's reported on some other fights that I haven't seen, it's almost like, old school, newspaper or radio reporting on a fight. So if you haven't been over to his channel, please do go and listen. He's very knowledgeable and a really good guy as well. So shout out, Joe. If you've liked this video, please like. And wherever you are in the world, have a fabulous day. Cheers. Bye-bye.